Senator Eddie Calvo says the continuation of session on Saturday resulted in what he calls a very interesting weekend.
I don't know where that bill came from. It's obvious to me it's another political ploy by the Democratic majority.
Calvo is referring to Bill 174, a measure he was surprised to even see discussed among senators, let alone during a weekend.
In fact, it surprised some of my other public servants in the Republican Party. They were in session to deal with a budget. All of a sudden a bill comes about.
Also surprised, Minority Leader Senator Tony Atta.
Our concerns were really there was no public hearing on the bill. The bill was just arbitrarily brought into session. We weren't able to go into committee of the whole, so we weren't able to get questions answered, and those were a lot of concerns to us.
As for the actual debate on whether exclusive or non-exclusive, Calvo says both proposals will provide savings.
What he's done is I think he put out one letter out of hundreds, if not thousands, of documents and weeks, if not months, of discussions. And with that, there is what we believe there's going to be savings, and good savings with the non-exclusive.
He says there were many assumptions, and in order to get clarity first, open enrollment needs to occur, and employees need to decide what plan they desire. Something he says could have been explained had lawmakers met in the committee of the whole to bring in the experts. The measure, meanwhile, eventually passed straight down party lines and had the administration pleading with senators to stop playing games.
The important thing for me, and what my concern is it appears that some senators are looking towards protecting one insurance company.
Minority Leader Senator Rory Spicio says the measure didn't have to be partisan and responded to the accusations.
Unless the governor is willing to announce who that one insurance company is, because as far as we're concerned, there's no official record to that effect. And
unlike the legislature's substituted budget bill, Governor Eddie Calvo says Bill 174 won't necessarily be dead on arrival.
But I think it's important, before we move one way or the other, I want our folks to read the bill.
But for now, Governor Calvo was hoping that after tempers and emotions have calmed, that the focus will be back on the budget.
But with that in mind, I'm hopeful the senators can now focus on the realities of coming up with a budget that is for the best interest of our people, and at the same time focuses on providing funding for the critical services, and let's get on with the job of serving the people.
And just like Senator Ben Pangalinan's call for a meeting 2 weeks ago, Governor Calvo says he's still open to it, but would actually prefer if the appropriations chair would first reach out to his fellow policymakers, some of whom, just like the administration, were surprised with what had transpired over the weekend.
But don't reach out to me when you haven't even reached out to your colleagues and convincing them on what is the best course of action. So my recommendation to the appropriations chair is no more surprises to the minority.
Numerous messages were left with Senator Pangalinan's office for additional comment, but have yet to receive a response. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.